You have a collect call from an inmate at the Washington Correctional Center. To accept the call, press 5.
There's nothing like waking up to the sound of clacking and buzzing as the doors crack in the morning after count clears. Waking up to the reality of life in prison. For some, it's just a stop along their journey, a milepost, an experience. For others, it is a revolving door, in and out, and that's their way of life, stuck in the cycle, pulling and eating away at them. And then for some, it becomes their destination, as the hammer came down and that judge issued them a death sentence. The slow way, by way of life in prison. This is The Life of a Lifer by Taylor Conway.
Keep on walking down the line. Keep on walking down the line. Keep on walking down that street. Keep on walking down the line.
Hello, friends and family, and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to make it short and sweet, as I'd like to get into this interview. I just want to say thank you to everybody who supports us. And I want to say thank you to everybody who helps put this together and make it possible. As I am sitting here behind bars serving life without the possibility of parole, none of this would be possible without the help and support of my team at Design Conviction. So go ahead and look at what we're doing. We're doing a lot of great things. We're trying to help people to really promote and give a voice to those that are incarcerated. And as we approach, as it's Martin Luther King Day, I think that that's what his stance was, in my opinion, is that he wanted to give a voice and to have people be heard. You know, he stood for what was right and didn't fall for the injustices that were happening. Kind of similar with what it is with people that are incarcerated today, in this day and age. The prejudice that takes place. Once you have a felony on your record, you're basically looked at as lesser than. In the eyes of society, the way that people look at it is that once a criminal, always a criminal. Just like how they lock people up and give people life sentences. Life without the possibility of parole, no chance, no hope. They're basically saying that there is no redemption for anybody. And how could that be possible if innately, as human beings, we are programmed basically to have good within us? So yeah, people do bad things and people do make mistakes. But in the end, isn't there a way for each and every individual to be able to find some redemption? And shouldn't there be at least a chance? Well, that's what's going on Monday, January 20th and 3rd. There's going to be a candlelight vigil put on by the Prison Voice. And Design Conviction is also a sponsor of that event. We got some performers that are going to be there. There's going to be speakers there. And they're basically lighting a candle for all the 1,300 individuals that are, as it stands today, sentenced to die in prison in Washington State. This is the first of its kind. So if you are in the Olympia, Washington area or nearby and you want to stop by, it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. They're going to be lighting a candle and just, recognizing what's going on. And there needs to be some hope there. Can there be a chance given? Can people redeem themselves? I'm just an example of one of many. I was incarcerated at a very young age, and I've grown up a lot since then. And I don't demean or take away from the impact that it's had on society or the community. At the same time, the impact that I would be able to have on the community in a positive way, coming back from different things. I'm wrongfully convicted of the crime that I have been convicted for. And so therefore, how is it that I can find redemption? I take responsibility for all the actions that I have done, and I don't make excuses for being here. but at the same time, is there ever going to be anybody that sees that within the judicial system, the criminal justice system? Is there ever going to be any real reforms? Or hope so, because there's many. I'm just an example. There's many. Like I said, they're lighting 1,300 candles. Those are all people that are going to be dying in prison as it stands. There's people that have served 3, 4 decades behind bars, and they went to prison when they were just at a young age. So many of these men have made immense changes within themselves. So I really want to say that I respect what Martin Luther King did, and I think that this is what he would stand for at this time if he was around today. So thank you very much. Let's get into this interview. Hey, I got Shaw on the line here. Do I got you, man?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing, Taylor?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for coming out.
Absolutely, man. I'm feeling the movement, man. When I got a word from O, I immediately tried to do a little bit of looking up and researching and looking into, man. I really like the message that y'all are trying to push, the awareness that y'all are trying to bring, and it's in the same vein as the stuff that I want to do, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that's really cool that you took the time out to kind of look into what we're doing, and we're just trying to spread a positive message, man, that not everybody that's locked up inside of here is monsters.
That's
what
right.
you see on the media is a bunch of violence, you see a bunch of destruction, and don't get me wrong, that stuff goes on, but there's also a whole nother side to the story that you don't ever hear about, man. You don't hear about the guys doing life without parole in here that are locked up for decades upon decades, never to be heard from again, man. So we're just trying to get that message out here that there's a lot of people doing things to try to make a difference in this life, and pass along knowledge to those younger ones and those that come after to not make the same decisions, man. So
exactly.
From what I understand about you, you did quite a lot of time yourself.
Yeah, I definitely did, man. I did 24 years, and needless to say, if an individual doesn't make some type of transition, some type of change for the good in 24 years, then there's just nothing left in him or her, as far as goodness is concerned. But that's not how we are made. We're inherently good. Sometimes circumstances force our hand into certain things, being in a certain situation. And so, that doesn't necessarily make us inherently bad. So a second chance should be guaranteed to every person walking the planet. That's just my opinion.
Right, man. Wow, because, and another thing is like hope. Hope.
Yeah.
If somebody has hope to another chance, it also gives somebody a lot more incentive to take a look at themselves to do something different. What I'm doing, man, is I'm creating my own hope, because I, right now, got life without the possibility of parole. There's no chance on the table that I'm looking at, but I'm creating my own hope. I'm trying to create my own road that leads to freedom at the end of the day. But right now, what we're doing is we're talking about your pathway, man. So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about some of the things you got going on, Shaw?
Yeah, well, I always like to view things from a standpoint of, just always strive to make right. And so after doing these 24 years and losing so much, my focus is gain. It's purely gain, but it's not gain just money-wise, financially. It's just that I want to be able to influence the next individual in a manner where, he or she doesn't have to do or see certain things that I saw. And if I can do that through telling my story, if I can do that through, relating to others, then, that's what I'm striving to do. But I'm going to push mine through clothing. You know, I like to dress people, man. So, and you know, the message is gonna be in there. You know, this prison thing needs desperate reform, because it's men and women in there who are society's geniuses, who are society's leaders, and they just have to be made to know that. And I think this right here, this platform that you have, is an attempt to have others know that. And that's just the part I want to say, Taylor.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate that you recognize that. It means a lot to me. And I hope that others out there will begin to see that not only is there hope and not only is there a way, but there are thousands and thousands and even millions. I mean, there's like 2.6, 2.8 million people now incarcerated across America. And, you know, there's thousands and thousands of people serving life sentences without hope. And, you know, these people are, in essence, people that, I mean, the majority of the guys that I know that I surround myself with that are lifers, they're all doing these type of programs that are doing the type of things that you're talking about doing out there. You know, they're trying to share, you know, their experience and knowledge to be able to say, hey, man, this isn't the life, man. You're going to end up with a life sentence, and this isn't what you want. There's more to life than this. You could be cool. You could do all these great things. There's so many more different options that you can do than this. You know, this is not where it's at, man. You know, and so some of those platforms, such as like Toastmasters, for instance, is a good one that I was involved with, that I'm still currently involved with, that allows you to spread that message, you know, to be able to speak about it and do it in such a way that you can be heard and people actually, you know, listen to what you're saying because you can speak intelligently. And a lot of times what happens is people can't effectively communicate, and therefore their message just gets lost, you know. But I think that it's great what you're doing through your clothing line, being able to share your message in something that's wearable, something that, you know, people can take pictures of, and something where the message can really just come out through being able to, you know, spread that around and wear it. Tell us more about what that clothing line really means and what it is.
Absolutely.
And how you came up with it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's when you isolate is when you sometimes come up with your best ideas. So back in 1998, while I was locked up, you know, I had a love affair for the dictionary. I stayed reading certain words. You know how that goes. You know, a dictionary is a valuable item in prison. I mean, to an individual who's concerned with his growth. But and so I ran through the dictionary. I came across this word parvenu, and it's spelled P-A-R-V-E-N-U. But when I read the definition, that's when, you know, it really had an influence on me. You know, the definition of the word parvenu is a person who has suddenly or recently risen to wealth or power, but hasn't acquired the social acceptance that goes along with it. And so basically what that's saying is a person, they just like automatically found themselves in some type of position of influence, or they may have wealth, money now, but society doesn't accept them. And so I viewed it as, you know, the very minute that you come into who you are, what it is that you're supposed to be, through all of the hell that you've gone through, and allowing that to make you be the better person, like you're doing, and like I'm doing, and like OG is doing, and like and what Magnetic is doing, and what so many more of us is doing, then that's when we come into our power. But society is not going to accept us because society's laws place certain rules and regulations on our movement, our behavior, and our reputation. From that, you know, from the fact that we didn't caught a felon. But, you know, an individual that's parvenu doesn't do it to be accepted. He does it because he or she is moving out on his or her own merit. They don't need nobody else to define him or her. They've done all of the defining for themselves while they was in their hell, and they came up out of the hell. And so, what it is that you're doing, Taylor, man, you know, like I said, it's in line with what it is that I want us to be doing. So, I'm truly appreciative of this opportunity, man. Like, truly. And shout out to my man OG. He's gonna come out with Olympia, Washington, on the 20th of January. He's gonna rock it out at y'all state capitol building, man. He's gonna have a sweater on, so if you're feeling the sweater, if you're feeling O, jump on the movement. By all means, P.R.N.V.U. Shallah. On my Instagram is P.R.N.V.U. Raymond, P.R.N.V.U. Life of a Lifer, Magnetic. Everybody, man, all of us that's striving to make these waves, man. Don't ride the wave, provide the wave, man. Shout out to Fabulous too, man.
Absolutely, man. That's powerful words right there, man. And I really appreciate your support, bro. And everything I can do to support you and your brothers and OG. He came on
and
here
likewise,
and we did an interview. Yeah.
And likewise, you know, real quick, I ain't mean to cut you, Taylor, but I just want to throw this in there because I know time is a thing in prison, man. I just want to say this, man. You had mentioned, you know, you doing life in prison and all of that. You know, the more of us in here, or out there, rather, can show that we came from that and we being successful and we building and galvanizing a real movement, then we can ask those of y'all in there to chill. We can ask those of y'all in there to kind of like hold on for a minute. Some things is going to change. But they have to know, guys in there have to know that some things are going to change if they really want to see a change come out of the guys. Otherwise, this is a money thing. And you say it's not that.
Exactly, man. You know, like I said, hope is a powerful thing. Like, if people have hope to hold on to, you know, it makes somebody think a little differently. Well, when they think that there's nothing to look forward to, that this is what it is day in and day out, that frame of mind is what, you know, keeps people in that repetitive cycle, man, of destitute, instead of, you know, finding that wealth from within to where you can unlock. It's limitless, man. It's limitless. And it's difficult, man. Well, you know, it took me a long time to really be able to unlock that stuff, like, within myself. And it's a state of mind, man. You got to really understand it. And it took me a long time because I was young. I was only 20 years old when I got arrested, man. And you know, I did a lot of drugs and stuff. And I don't blame it on that, but due to circumstances of youth, mitigating factors and whatnot, things that I went through as growing up. You know, I went to a behavioral modification program over in Mexico and then got sent to Jamaica, and those places were so harsh of an environment on youth that they ended up shutting them down. There was even some kids that got killed in those places, and so I mean, there was like some of those things, you know. And I'm, once again, man, I don't blame my situations or anything, because I also had plenty of chances to make different choices. I didn't, you know. But I'm actually not guilty of what I got convicted of. But I'm saying that, you know, I take responsibility for the situations I put myself in, for what I have done, and I don't blame anybody for ending up with life in prison. All I'm asking for is look at the person that I have become and who I am today, and say, hey, let's give this guy another chance. You know, and I'm not the only one, man. I'm just an example, brother.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just an example of somebody that there was thousands of others out there. You know, so I just think that if people were really to look into it, you know, and see, and you said it wonderfully when you said that when people get out and do the things that you, OG, Magnetic, you know, Seth Anthony, he's a good friend of mine, man.
And Juicy too, man. See the new one, Juicy. Just got hip to her. But yeah, go ahead, my bad. Juice-ski.
Juice-ski. Okay,
Yeah,
man, you're gonna have to send over the info to my people, man, and I'll see if they're on the JPEG.
Okay.
Or is that? Oh, is that the lady that's doing a program?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard about her actually.
The juice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool, man. But
She'll find out.
But so I mean, what I do on here is every interview I ask, you know, what do you think? I mean, I kind of have an idea from what we've been talking about already, but what do you think about life sentences, man?
I think life sentences are archaic form of punishment that in this day and time don't have a place. Now, I would never disregard or negate the victim in all cases. However, I'm pretty sure that if the victim found themselves being the victimizer and not the victim, they would want a second chance as well. It's just a human thing, irrespective of, you know, where you come from. So, you know, that life sentence thing, to have a person be done for life, forever, for no chance of freedom, no chance of correction, no chance to show that an individual is salvageable, that goes against what we have all agreed on was nature or natural. So, yeah, so I think that, you know, a life sentence, man, should be eliminated. And
because
more,
in essence, you might as well just give people the death penalty at that point.
yeah,
You know?
right.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's just slow. It's a slow
Right.
death penalty.
Right.
And, you know, I believe that it's unconstitutional life sentences because if you're going to say that somebody is irredeemable, that there is no chance for that person to be redeemed, then you're basically, like you just said, going against what everybody has agreed upon, that people are inherently good.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what the Constitution says, that there's no redeemable qualities, basically, is the idea of it. And, so, life sentences, therefore, should be abolished, man. And people should have the chance to at least show what they've done with themselves. Doesn't mean that they're going to get out.
Right, exactly.
And that's why OG is coming out to Washington State at the Capitol building. He's going to perform some songs because what it is it's a candlelight vigil, the first in history of Washington. I don't know if they've done it anywhere else, but there's 1,300 individuals that are sentenced to die in prison right now in Washington State. Me being one of them. And so they're going to light 1,300 candles for all those people. And OG's going to be performing there. And my brother Caleb Twidwell, who we have a single out called So Cold. You can check that out, featuring Caleb Twidwell by Design Conviction. Design Conviction is the company that we started, man, that we have.
I saw that.
Yeah. So, you know, we put out music. I write songs, and I did time with Caleb. He, you know, he's a brilliant singer, man. He's an amazing singer. He writes songs as well and plays guitar, man. He's going to sing the song So Cold there and dedicate it to all the lifers, man.
Okay.
I'm
telling you.
It's a pretty real song, man. And anyways, I just want to say, Sean, man, I really appreciate you, man. All your support and love and much respect, bro.
Likewise, and I hope this is the first of many, you know, collaborations we can do, get together, because this thing needs to be spreaded, Taylor. It really needs to be spreaded, man. This is sincere.
We're trying to do more, you know what I mean? The more support that we get, the more we're not out of time, but we're growing, we're learning, and we want to put together more events, man, and We want to invite y'all to whatever we can do. Maybe we can do something out where you guys are at, so it'll be easier to get more people together at some point, you know. Yeah, man, the more people that come together to really do this thing in a positive way, man, the more traction we're going to get. So
I agree. Hey, listen, Taylor, it was a pleasure, man. Y'all have my information. Y'all got a way to contact me. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, and the only good things can come after this, man.
Absolutely, and supports you, man. Everybody follow this dude. This guy's a real guy, and I just appreciate you, man. So thank you.
Appreciate it. Peace. Y'all hold it down in there, man. Y'all hold it down.
Hey, thank you for that, Shaw. I mean, that guy is incredible. You know, he's gotten out after doing almost a quarter of a century behind bars, and now he hasn't given up on what he left behind as far as the people. You know, he's dedicated his life basically to making sure that these people are not forgotten about. Just like Magnetic that was on here last week, you know, he didn't give up on the people either. He got out after doing 25 years, and he's still out there making sure that people aren't forgotten about, being a voice for those that are left behind, and also an example of what people can do after getting out. You know, they were shot down. What this guy said, he went up for parole 13 times before he was able to actually get it. And when they finally gave it to him, now look what he's doing with himself. You know, these are just a couple of great examples of people that were sentenced to life sentences, but they actually have parole in the state that they're from. I believe it's Virginia, and now they're able to get out and look what they're doing with themselves. So, you know, if they had parole in every state, imagine what would be able to take place. People would be able to get out, you know, and set the example for the generation to come. And that's what he's doing through his clothing line and through speaking and talking and interacting and setting an example for the ones that follow. So I want to say thank you. And I also want to give OGU Myth a big thank you that he's coming out and he's going to perform on Monday a couple of songs and speak to the people at this candlelight vigil after, you know, he spent a decade behind bars, and he's going to share his experience, what he's doing. He's on the same trajectory. So a lot of these people are examples of what can be done, and I think that people deserve to hear that, and that's what we're doing here. We're trying to give a voice, man. We're trying to let people know that it's not everything that you see on TV with all the violence and the gangs. Yeah, that does happen, but there's people that are working to make a difference and changing the culture, changing the vibe, changing the attitude, and just being able to really do something positive in such a negative environment. And that is incredible. And I think that people deserve to hear about that stuff too. So thank you very much for joining us today. And don't forget to call in and call or write in at A Life of a Lifer and ask a question, engage, let us know what you think, what would you like to know about, and we'll get back to you. We always get back to everybody. Anybody that has something to say or wants to ask about something or engage, no problems. If you want to get involved with the project, what we're doing, do that too. And we got it up and running. It's the freetaylorproject.com. If you want to support, you know, Free Taylor, you want to support me seeing to get out of this side of these walls. But it's not just about me, like I keep saying. It's about everybody that deserves a chance. Just a chance, you know. I just want to shine light on the situation. Support what we're doing and support a good thing. It's going towards it. That's what it's going towards. It's going towards making it heard. Check us out at Design Conviction, designconviction.com, lifeofalifer.com. See what it's about. You know, you might learn something. People, once they get involved with what we're doing, and they really see, like, wow, look at these people. Look at what they're doing with what they have to work with, being creative, thinking outside the box. People really support that, you know, but it takes a little bit of courage, guts, to open your mind and look in and give a chance to somebody who's otherwise left and forgotten about. So I encourage you to do the same. And thank you for tuning in. Have a happy Martin Luther King's Day. Just remember the things that this man did and what he stood for, because we stand for similar principles, and I think that he deserves to be recognized. So thank you very much, and have a great day.
Keep on walking.